Imagine waking up one day to find out that the United States, the world's largest economy, has decided to stop paying its debt. What would that mean for you, your savings, and the global economy? In a world where financial stability is often taken for granted, the thought of a country like the US defaulting on its debt feels like a plot twist in a horror movie. The implications could be catastrophic, not just for Americans, but for everyone. Today, we're diving deep into this chilling scenario. We'll explore what a US debt default would look like, how it would impact everyday life, and what it could mean for the global economy. Buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. Let's start by understanding what US debt actually is. As of now, the national debt is over $31 trillion and climbing. This debt comes from borrowing money to fund government operations when tax revenues fall short. But what happens if the government decides it can't or won't pay back this debt? The consequences could be dire. Imagine a scenario where the US government suddenly announces it will no longer honor its debt obligations. This isn't just a financial issue, it's a crisis that could shake the very foundations of our economy. First off, let's talk about what would happen immediately after such an announcement. Investors around the world would panic. The stock market would likely crash as confidence in US financial stability evaporates. People might rush to withdraw their savings from banks, fearing that their money could vanish overnight. The US dollar, which is considered one of the safest currencies in the world, would plummet in value. This means that everything priced in dollars, from groceries to gas, would become more expensive almost overnight. Inflation would skyrocket as prices rise due to decreased confidence in the currency. Now let's zoom out and look at how this would affect other countries. Many nations hold US debt as part of their reserves, believing it to be a safe investment. If the US defaults, these countries would face severe financial crises themselves. Countries like Japan and China hold trillions in US Treasury bonds. If those bonds become worthless overnight, these nations could experience economic turmoil that leads to instability and unrest. Impact on everyday Americans. But what does this mean for you? Let's break it down. 1. Job losses. As businesses struggle due to economic instability, layoffs could become common. Companies might cut back on hiring or even go out of business entirely. 2. Higher interest rates. With the dollar losing value and investors fleeing from US assets, interest rates on loans and mortgages could skyrocket. This means buying a home or even financing a car could become nearly impossible. 3. Retirement savings at risk. If you have investments in stocks or bonds, those could lose significant value during this crisis. Your retirement savings could take a massive hit just when you need them most. 4. Social services cutbacks. The government would likely need to make drastic cuts to social services and programs that many rely on, like Social Security or Medicare. 5. Public unrest. With rising prices and job losses, public discontent could lead to protests and unrest across the country. Climax key moment. Now let's focus on a key moment. Imagine Congress is in session as panic spreads through Wall Street and Main Street alike. Politicians are scrambling to come up with solutions while citizens are glued to their screens watching chaos unfold in real time. In this moment of crisis, trust erodes between citizens and their government as people demand accountability for what led to this disaster. News outlets are flooded with stories of families struggling to make ends meet while businesses shutter their doors for good. This moment encapsulates not just an economic collapse, but also a societal one, a fracture between those in power and those they serve. Conclusion, summary. So what have we learned today? A US default on its debt wouldn't just be an economic issue. It would ripple through every aspect of life, from your job security to your grocery bills and even your retirement plans. The consequences would be felt not only within America, but around the globe as well. The fear of uncertainty can lead to panic-driven decisions that exacerbate an already dire situation, creating a cycle that's hard to break free from. Call to action. If you found this topic intriguing and want to learn more about finance and its impact on our lives, hit that subscribe button or check out our next video.